Have you ever stood in the frozen food aisle staring at all those colorful pizza boxes and just wondered, am I really getting actual food here? Or worse, you get home, pop one in the oven, and realize that what came out barely resembles the picture on the package. Yeah, we've all been there. Choosing the right frozen pizza for your family can feel like a minefield these days. And let's be honest, not all frozen pizzas are created equal, especially when it comes to what's actually inside those appealing packages. We get it. It's not simple. On one hand, you need the convenience of a quick dinner solution. On the other, you're hoping for something that won't poison your family or pack more chemicals than a laboratory. That's exactly why we've done all the homework for you. In today's video, we are taking a hard look at 7 of the most popular frozen pizza brands across the country. And we're ranking them from the absolute worst to, well, let's just say there are no winners here, only varying degrees of concerning. Based on independent laboratory analysis, shocking contamination findings, and chemical content that would make your head spin, will your go-to frozen pizza make this list of shame? Or have you been unknowingly feeding your family something that could seriously impact their health? You might be very surprised by what the lab results revealed. Stick with us. All right, let's dive into kick things off with our number 7 spot. Tombstone Original Pepperoni. Coming in at number 7. And trust me, the name is more appropriate than you might think. It's Tombstone Original Pepperoni. Yeah, we can all grab this classic-looking pizza thinking we're getting a simple, no-nonsense dinner solution. But the laboratory analysis tells a very different story. The biggest issue here comes down to one word: acrylamide. Or rather, the shocking levels of it. Independent lab testing found that Tombstone's high-temperature baking process creates acrylamide concentrations that exceed California's Proposition 65 warning levels by significant margins. That's a cancer-causing compound forming right in your oven. Now, to be fair, acrylamide forms in many baked goods. But here's the kicker. Tombstone's signature crispy crust process maximizes this formation. Former Kraft Heinz employees have admitted they've known about these elevated levels for years, but continue the practice because changing it would alter the taste consumers expect. And here's the real problem. There's no warning on the package. You get what you think is a simple pepperoni pizza, but you're actually getting a chemical cocktail that laboratory analysts described as concerning for regular consumption. So, what's our final verdict? If you're looking for a pizza that won't set off cancer warning alarms in laboratory testing, maybe skip this Tombstone. How about you? Have you noticed that unusually crispy crust at Tombstone? Let us know your experience in the comments below. Coming up at number 6. It's a brand that promises restaurant quality, but laboratory testing revealed contamination that would shut down most restaurants. Coming in at number 6, we have a budget favorite that many families rely on. It's Tony's Original Crust Pepperoni. Now hold on, hear me out. First things first, let's be clear. The price point makes it tempting for families on tight budgets. You can feed a family for under $5, but that's where the good news ends, because the laboratory analysis revealed some truly disturbing findings. But that's the first problem. Microbiological testing revealed widespread bacterial contamination across multiple Tony's production lots. We're talking E. coli presence in levels that prompted immediate FDA notification, though no public recalls were issued. But here's the real reason Tony's is this low on our list. The pepperoni itself. Laboratory testing found that Tony's pepperoni contains some of the highest nitrate and nitrite concentrations found in any processed meat product. At the levels detected, these preservatives can interfere with blood oxygen transport, particularly dangerous for seniors with cardiovascular condition. Former Schwann's production employees have revealed that Tony's extreme cost-cutting includes using expired ingredients that are chemically treated to extend apparent freshness. So, it's nearly impossible to know exactly how old your food really is. Now, that might be acceptable for a dollar store find, but when it comes to feeding your family something that laboratory testing flagged for multiple contamination issues, the savings aren't worth the risk. Wouldn't you agree? So, I have to ask you, Tony's fans, Does that rock-bottom price matter when independent testing reveals bacterial contamination and chemical levels that exceed safety recommendations? Tell us what you think. Up next, we're moving from budget concerns to premium pricing that doesn't deliver premium safety. Coming in at number 5, one of the most expensive options that somehow manages to be one of the most contaminated.
Budget pizza
But is
disasters.
more we now go to the complete opposite end of the price spectrum. Coming in at number 5, it's California Pizza Kitchen Crispy Thin Crust BBQ Chicken. Now, the big attraction for CPK is the restaurant brand recognition. You walk past their frozen section thinking you're getting that same gourmet quality you'd find in their actual restaurants. But, and it's a big but, laboratory analysis revealed this premium-priced pizza contains some of the most concerning chemical additives found in any frozen pizza brand. Independent laboratory testing discovered that CPK frozen pizzas contain propylene glycol, the same chemical used in antifreeze as a dough conditioner. While technically food grade, former FDA scientists have expressed serious concern about cumulative exposure, particularly for families who rely on frozen pizzas as regular meal solutions. But, and this is a shocking twist that should make everyone pay attention, the BBQ sauce analysis yielded the most disturbing results. Laboratory testing found that CPK's barbecue sauce contains caramel coloring produced with ammonia compounds, creating 4-methylimidazole, a compound that California requires cancer warning labels for. However, here's the really concerning part. The concentration levels in a single CPK pizza exceed the state's safe daily exposure recommendations. For a pizza that costs 3 times more than budget options, you're getting chemical exposure that budget brands don't even approach. So, what's the bottom line? Premium pricing doesn't guarantee premium safety. In fact, CPK's complex ingredient list creates potential interaction effects that are particularly concerning for families with children or seniors taking multiple medications. Do you buy CPK frozen pizzas thinking you're getting restaurant quality? Have you noticed that chemical aftertaste that laboratory analysts mentioned? Let us know. Up next, we're heading to a brand that built its reputation on delivery simulation, but laboratory findings suggest you'd be better off with actual delivery. They've got a rising crust, but also rising concerns about it. We are now looking at America's most popular frozen pizza brand for our number 4 spot, DiGiorno Original Rising Crust Supreme. DiGiorno built an empire on, it's not delivery, it's DiGiorno. But laboratory analysis suggests that delivery might actually be the safer choice. The signature rising crust technology that made them famous also creates their biggest problem. Laboratory testing found concerning levels of sodium aluminum phosphate in DiGiorno's rising crust formula. This aluminum compound, used to make dough rise faster, can accumulate in brain tissue over time. Here's the shocking part. A single DiGiorno Supreme pizza contains enough aluminum compounds that eating 2 per week could exceed recommended exposure limits for adults over 65. But, and this is that frustrating problem we mentioned, former Nestlé employees have admitted that the company knows about these concerns, but continues using aluminum additives because they're cheaper than natural alternatives and create the signature rising effect consumers expect. After laboratory analysis of their cheese components, we discovered another major issue. DiGiorno's 100% real cheese contains up to 15% cellulose powder, essentially wood pulp used to prevent clumping and extend shelf life. One food scientist described it as cheese that behaves more like a polymer coating than actual dairy. It's incredibly disappointing when you realize that America's most trusted frozen pizza brand is delivering aluminum exposure levels that approach what toxicologists consider concerning for regular consumption. So, for our viewers nationwide, has this been your go-to brand? Or are you now questioning that rising crust technology? Let us know in the comments. Up next, we're staying with household names, but moving to a brand that takes the explosion in their name a little too literally. They've got some great Tex-Mex flavors, but laboratory testing revealed explosive levels of sodium and chemical additives. If you're still watching and finding these laboratory results shocking, I'd really appreciate it if you'd leave the number 4 in the comments below just to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I hope you'll consider subscribing and ringing that bell so you don't miss our other food safety investigations. Your support is what allows us to keep funding these independent laboratory tests and creating content to keep your family safe. Now, let's get back to these three most concerning frozen pizzas. And coming in at number 3 is Red Baron Classic Crust Pepperoni. Let's start with Red Baron's biggest red flag, and it's a really concerning one. Independent lab testing discovered that Red Baron pizzas contain BHT, butylated hydroxytoluene, a petroleum-derived preservative also used in jet fuel and rubber production. While the FDA allows BHT in food, studies have linked it to behavioral problems and potential carcinogenic effects. They've also got a serious quality control problem that laboratory testing exposed. Microbiological testing revealed inconsistent bacterial counts across different Red Baron production lots, suggesting inadequate safety protocols. One laboratory batch tested positive for coliform bacteria, indicators of potential fecal contamination at levels that raised immediate red flags among food safety experts. But, and this is that shocking gap we mentioned, the pepperoni testing results were the most disturbing. Laboratory analysis found that Red Baron pepperoni contains sodium nitrite levels at the maximum legal limit. Former meat processing workers have revealed that Red Baron uses cheaper meat scraps and relies on nitrites to maintain color and prevent spoilage. But here's the really disturbing part: compared to pizza brands that actually invest in quality ingredients, Red Baron's cost-cutting creates a chemical cocktail that independent testing called concerning for regular family consumption. So, while Red Baron delivers on classic pizza nostalgia, laboratory analysis reveals that this classic approach includes classic food safety problems that modern families shouldn't have to accept. Are you a Red Baron regular? Does that aviation branding make you feel safer? Or do these petroleum-derived preservatives concern you? Let us know. Up next, at number 2, we have a brand that sounds wholesome and family-friendly, but laboratory analysis revealed contamination levels that would make families think twice. Their French bread format creates unique problems that other pizza We have what might be the most deceptive product in the frozen pizza category. If you've ever thought French bread pizza sounds wholesome and simple, Stauffer's analysis will change that perspective forever. When you think of Stauffer's, you probably think quality frozen meals with a reputation for being better than average. But laboratory testing commissioned by consumer protection groups reveals that this hybrid product contains some of the most concerning chemical additives and contamination levels found in any frozen food product tested. Independent laboratory testing discovered that Stauffer's French bread pizza contains potassium bromate in the bread component, a chemical banned in most countries due to cancer-causing properties. The bromate levels detected exceed California's safe harbor limits and represent serious long-term health risks, particularly for families who rely on convenient meal solutions. But the story gets worse. Microbiological analysis found multiple antibiotic-resistant bacterial strains in Stauffer's pepperoni, suggesting contamination from industrial meat processing facilities that overuse antibiotics. Former Nestlé quality control workers have revealed that Stauffer's suppliers often fail bacterial testing, but products are still released after corrective treatments that may not eliminate all contamination. The cheese testing yielded perhaps the most disturbing results. Stauffer's mozzarella contains synthetic enzymes and industrial stabilizers that laboratory analysts compared to edible plastic. This cheese substitute creates persistent coating in the mouth and digestive system that can interfere with nutrient absorption. But here's the most shocking finding. Independent chemical analysis found that Stauffer's French bread pizza contains more artificial ingredients than any other frozen pizza tested, over 70 different synthetic compounds, including several that are banned in organic food production. So this product that markets itself as a convenient family meal is actually delivering chemical exposure that former food scientists described as a chemistry experiment disguised as convenience food. I know we have Stauffer's fans out there who trust the brand name. Are you shocked by these laboratory findings? Does knowing about the potassium bromate change your perspective? Let us know in the comments. We are now at our most concerning finding, and coming in at number 1 is a pizza that laboratory testing revealed should come with hazardous material warnings rather than the most concerning frozen pizza in America. And at number 1, it's a brand that markets traditional cooking methods while delivering modern chemical disasters. Freschetta Brick Oven Crust Supreme. And yes, we all know Freschetta markets itself as premium quality with brick oven authenticity. But let's talk about what laboratory analysis actually discovered in this supposed premium product. For contamination levels that shocked even experienced laboratory technicians, Freschetta wins the dangerous prize. Independent laboratory analysis discovered that Freschetta's brick oven process actually involves chemical treatments that create heterocyclic amines compounds that form when proteins are heated to extreme temperatures. These chemicals have been linked to increased cancer risk in multiple peer-reviewed studies. But the real reason for our number 1 ranking comes down to cumulative chemical exposure. Laboratory testing revealed that Freschetta pizzas contain aluminum compounds from multiple sources: aluminum-based leavening agents, aluminum-lined packaging, and aluminum sulfate in processing. The cumulative aluminum exposure from a single pizza approaches levels that neurologists consider concerning for cognitive health. Now, here's the most disturbing discovery that should shock every parent. Microbiological testing found dangerous levels of Clostridium perfringens in multiple Freschetta samples bacteria that can cause severe food poisoning, particularly deadly for elderly consumers and young children with developing immune systems. But what makes this our number 1 most dangerous choice is the combination effect. While other brands might have 1 or 2 concerning findings, Freschetta delivers a perfect storm: cancer, causing chemical formation, aluminum neurotoxicity, and potentially deadly bacterial contamination. Former Schwann's production workers have revealed that Freschetta's premium positioning allows the company to use manufacturing shortcuts while charging higher prices. The brick oven marketing is achieved through chemical flavor additives that simulate wood-fired taste, not actual improved safety standards. So, Freschetta earns its number 1 most dangerous spot for delivering the highest cumulative health risks disguised as premium quality. It's the most deceptive and potentially harmful option in the frozen pizza category. The ability to combine cancer-causing compounds, neurotoxic metals, and deadly bacteria in one convenient package is what makes Freschetta our undisputed number 1 pizza to avoid at all costs. Did you know this about Freschetta's brick oven process? Let us know if these laboratory findings change your frozen pizza shopping. Our 7 most dangerous frozen pizzas based on independent laboratory analysis. From Tombstone's cancer-causing acrylamide to Freschetta's triple threat of chemical contamination, these findings should fundamentally change how you think about convenient dinner solutions. Do you agree with our number 1 most dangerous choice? What frozen pizza disasters have you experienced? The debate starts now in the comments. If you found these laboratory results as shocking as we did, please give this video a like and subscribe for more independent food safety investigations. Because your family's health is worth more than convenience, and the truth about what you're eating should never be hidden behind marketing claims. Thanks for watching, and remember, read those labels carefully, because what's inside might be more dangerous than you ever imagined.